one thing trigonometry allows us to do is to find an angle in a right angle triangle without doing a scale diagram. We're going to work out this angle here using our calculator. The first thing we should check though is our calculator is on the correct setting. Press sine 30 on your calculator and you should get 0.5. To check our calculator is going correctly, press sine 30, close brackets, equals. And it's not because we should be getting the figure 0.5. So we have to get our calculator onto degrees. Now all calculators are different. On this one, we go Shift, Set Up. We want to change the angle. 1 for degrees. Let's try that again. Sine 30, close brackets, equals. And it's 1/2. If we change that to a decimal, we've got 0.5. If you look closely at your calculator, you'll see a little D up here as a double check it's on degrees. But it's a good idea before you do a question just to run that little check. Our first step is to label the sides. O is the opposite side to the angle we're trying to find. In this case here, this is the opposite because it's opposite the angle X. H is the hypotenuse and is always opposite the right angle. So it goes here because it's opposite the right angle. Finally, the adjacent is between the right angle and the angle we're trying to find. So this side here is our A side, it's between the right angle and the angle we're trying to find. Our second step is to apply the correct formula, and there's 3 formulas. We ask ourselves the question, which 2 sides have got numbers associated with them? It's the O side because it's got an 8, and the A side because there's a 10. There's no number on the H side. So it's O and A with the numbers. The only formula with both O and A in it is this one here. So we use tan X as O over A. How big's the O? It's 8. That's our numerator. How big's the A? That's 10. That's our denominator. We are now ready to use the calculator. In our calculator, we go Shift Tan, open bracket, 8 divided by 10, close brackets, equals, and we end up with this number here. Our last step is to round it appropriately. On the calculator, Shift Tan, and you'll notice this little -1 up here that tells us we're finding the angle. 8 divided by 10, close brackets, equals, there's our answer. Here we have another example. We're trying to find this angle here, so our first step is to label. This side here is the opposite, so we put an O because it's opposite the angle we're trying to find. This side here is H because it's opposite the right angle, and this side here is our A side because it's between the angle we're trying to find and the right angle. Our next step is to apply the correct formula. Which 2 sides have got the numbers next to them? It's the A and the H because the adjacent is 7 and the hypotenuse is 12. Which of these formulas has got A and H? It's this one here. Write it down, substitute the values in. The A is 7, that's your numerator. The H is 12. We are now ready for our calculator steps, which are Shift Cos, open bracket, 7 divided by 12, close brackets, equals. We get this number here and we round it appropriately. On the calculator, Shift Cos, a little -1 up here means we're finding an angle. 7 divided 12, close brackets, equals. There's our answer.